Oops. Be right with you, folks. All right, yo, yo, yo. First episode of me, Jack, and a short box. All right. First rule of me, Jack, and short box: you start off every episode with a shot. Since I'm doing this on Facebook and live on YouTube, shot for each. So, here you go. May all your issues be comic related, and may your condition be always be mint and or very fine. Cheers, everybody. Delicious. All right. So, first disclaimer. There'll be some few disclaimers on this. Probably sound like a theme song. The full disclaimer. But anyways, first disclaimer is I'm one of those old dudes who was like, back in my day when I used to collect comic books, sort of thing. But seriously, back in the day when I first started collecting comic books back in the mid to late 1970s, there were no trade paperbacks, there were no omnibuses. If you wanted to, and the comics had a bad habit of putting things in their comic books where they'd say, oh yeah, Gwen Stacy's dead, blah, blah, blah. That happened in issue 121 of Spider-Man. Well, if you didn't have issue 120 of Spider-Man, we're kind of screwed as far as the story goes. You had to track it down to read it. The closest thing that came to having any kind of trades were these books here that I got for Christmas when I was a kid. The Sons of Origins and Bring on the Bad Guys. And then there was, I got these two first. And let me tell you, I lost it when I got these. There was nothing like this until I was like about 11 or 12 years old. Oh my gosh. And just side note, I lived my dream a few years back, and I actually, these both are written by Stan Lee. Had him sign them at the Las Vegas Comic Con. Had him sign my two favorite ones. This is the first one. This had the origin of some of the first Marvel characters, Spider-Man, Thor, Fantastic Four. And like I said, these were the first of their kind. There were no trades back then. So getting this, I lost my crap when I got these for Christmas. No, the present mattered when I got these two. I got this, and then Bring on the Bad Guys was origin. Awesome idea, actually, to do a book of the origin of some of the biggest bad guys in Marvel history at the time. Also, signed by Stan the Man. So funny story about this. When I went to get them signed, don't tell anybody, please. When I went to get them signed, I had you had to pay $60 for a signature from Stan, and I only had enough for one signature. So when you went and stood in line, I stood in line for 4 hours to get this signature. Paid $60 and stood in line. So yeah, you know, I was pretty determined. I was on a mission. You got a little card. You got a card for every signature. So, and I didn't know this at first. I'm standing in line for an hour, and the guy in front of me says, "Get your card." And I'm like, "Duh, no one to get my card." So, ran and got my card. The guy saved my place in line. Get the card, and I go up to get back in line, and I'm standing there. I'm like, "Huh?" And instead of boom, second card there. Didn't tell anybody. Got the second signature for free. So, like I said, don't tell anybody. Also, the same Christmas, I got a copy of this book, which is just as awesome. This is the DC Origins, and this is a freaking awesome book. Told the history, the origins of some of the top DC characters, but it told the Golden Age and the Silver Age origins, which was just amazing. This is actually a copy I bought a couple years back. My original copy was a paperback copy that I read so much, the front cover fell off and the first few pages fell out of it, and it since has gone missing, which probably just fell apart and disintegrated somewhere into the universe. The next year, I got The Son of the Origins, which continued some of the other great origins. And then this one, which every young boy should have at the time, the superhero women, the hot women of Marvel, which is really cool. So because of this, because of the fact that if you wanted to read about the death of Gwen Stacy, or you wanted to read a past issue that you didn't have, there was no books to go to. There was no trade paperbacks. There was no omnibuses to go to. we live in a wonderful age of omnibuses and trade paperbacks now, where kids can go and actually pick up these books and read past books without paying the money that some of these key issues cost. And because of that, as a kid not having those, I had collected a lot of key issues just because, sure, I knew they were going to be worth money, or they thought they might be worth money somewhere down the line, but I just wanted to read the stories, and there was nowhere else to get the stories unless you bought the damn key issue. So did a lot of different things to get key issues, and I'll go through those as we discuss more we go through the magical short box. But yeah, so that's I started collecting late 70s. Stopped collecting in 1980, around 83, 84, because I went to college. Couldn't afford to pay it. I was reading way too many titles at the time, and couldn't figure it. Instead of just cutting it down, I just quit altogether. I couldn't bear to not have my books to read. I might as well give them all up. Then it started again in 2006 when Civil War started, because read about that and okay, so stop there for a second. We are a superhero household: Spider-Man, Batman. So they're the best superheroes, not just DC, Marvel, but ever and always. What I was saying now. Having said that, collecting the books, I had to go different venues to get the books, and so obviously Batman and Superman were the number ones. Getting those issues were hard. Totally lost my train of thought. But let's go to the short box, and we'll go from there. Okay, so this is a short box, random issues. Thing is, they're in a sort of an order, but it's basically what I can fit in a box. This one actually has one tab signifying it's a special part of the box. We'll get to that one later. It's the mystery tab. But let's go through this box and see what's in here. Okay, let's see what's this. Oh, okay, let's start with this. She-Hulk. Alright, so the one comic book store, another thing that weren't plentiful when I was a kid were comic book stores. Now your comic book stores are everywhere. You can go to a comic book store and get any comic book you want. There was no such thing as a pull box. There was no, there was one comic book store and it was like 20 minutes, 30 minutes away from my house. My parents were awesome though. My dad, who collected as a kid, started collecting it because of me and would take us to the comic book store. My mom would take us, and she would stay in the car because the comic book store wasn't in the best part of town or neighborhood. It was in Hawaiian Gardens growing up, and there was a bar across the street. It was one of those barfly bars, and my mom enjoyed taking us because that was her soap opera. She said she would sit out and wait for us and just watch the characters who would come in and out of the bar, and that was her enjoyment. And she would wait for us, and never tried to rush us. Never said, "Hurry up, I gotta go." She sat in the car patiently and waited for us. But anyway, so one of the weeks I went to the comic book store, this book showed up. I was already a Hulk fan, somewhat, and no idea this book was coming out. This is when Hulk was on TV, and I was a huge fan of the TV show. Even though there was a bad guy he was fighting, there was always human bad guys. There were no super villains, but never mind that. So this is a total surprise. I couldn't wait to get it. Got my hands on it. Got the book. The history behind this book is actually pretty interesting. Turns out, what I've read anyways, is that because ABC owned the rights, Marvel had loaned the Hulk to ABC. But part of the agreement was, if ABC came with new characters, they own those characters, if they weren't already part of the Hulk history. Well, Marvel and Stan Lee got wind that ABC was talking about creating a female Hulk. So Marvel came to Stan Lee and said, "Hey dude, make a She-Hulk quick so we can own it." So they busted this out. It was a total surprise to everybody. Nobody saw this one coming. Especially us collectors. So it was cool to get this book. The story is that Jennifer is cousin to Banner, and she gets shot, I believe. Hulk's trying to protect her. She gets shot, needs a blood transfusion, and of course, he's the only one who can give her blood. They're not going to make it to the hospital. He's a match, blah, blah, blah. And because of his blood, Hulk blood, getting into her, she becomes a She-Hulk. And she's a She-Hulk to this day. And the interesting thing is, she was an attorney. She still is an attorney. She keeps her form for the most part as a She-Hulk, and she represents superheroes in trials in the comic books. So she's a favorite character still to this day. But She-Hulk, screw you ABC. We're gonna own this one. Quote Marvel. Let's see what else is in here. Oh, Love me some Deathlock. Deathlock. Okay, this is not the Deathlock on Shield, not the Pennywaist that you see on Shield. This is frickin' Deathlock, circa 1970 something. Badass Deathlock. This dude, I mean, just look at him. Half of his face is rotting. He died. He died and was recreated. He was a mercenary, and they made him part cyborg, and he was a badass. This is one of the books I read. My dad and I both loved. Another one. I had Deathlock. Had read his issues ahead of time. Like, oh damn it, I got to get the origin because how can I read the origin? So I got this book, so I could figure out. This is his first appearance. Astonishing Tales, number 25. Badass cover, badass character. Another thing, it was interesting. I don't even know. It's got a little water damage on here. When I was a kid, I'm more of a speculator now than I was back then. I'm more of a collector, but speculation is awesome too. It's a lot of fun. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I didn't care what condition they came in. If it was complete and I could read the story, I will buy it as long as I could afford it. $5 a week allowance. But yeah, Deathlock, not your current day Mama's Deathlock. This was actually the badass Deathlock of the 70s. So yeah, awesome. Needless to say. Let's see what else is in this box. Okay, this is a funny thing. So, obviously there was no internet. I had limited resources to get information on comic books and who appeared first and who did what. So as a kid, got this. Everybody knows this one. George Perez, Marv Wolfman's awesome New Teen Titans. Love this book. Some of these books, I mean, there are very few books I will reread, but I think I reread the first 10 issues a couple times as a kid. Just because, I mean, not just the stories, but George Perez is probably, is one of the best comic artists of all time. And the artwork in these books is just incredible. So I'm thinking, got the first appearance of these guys, right? Thought this up until recently, up until I started collecting again in 2006. Thought I had the first appearance because I didn't know better. Didn't know that this wasn't. No, it's throwing you guys off. I've got two laptops going, one for YouTube and one for Facebook. So, and if you are sending me messages, I can't read. I got old man eyes. I can see stuff going on down there, but I can't read it. So, just bear with me, and I'll probably get to the comments after the show. So, and if I'm talking too fast, I don't know, put a little thumbs down thing or something. Slow down. I'm talking fast. But so, first appearance, right? Oh, that's cool. Look at the first appearance. No, not the first appearance. First appearance is in this random DC Comics Presents. Had to pick this up. Because to this day, speculating or not, I still have that urge that I did as a kid, like, sure I could own the trade paperback, sure I can get a reprint somewhere. I want to own the real thing. I want to it's like, collecting art. I want to own the original piece of art on here. And let me just say something about speculating, because I know I belong to groups, I know people who are collectors, and they have a hate on for speculators. But there's something I've got to tell you. First of all, is that collectors set the market. Speculators only can sell for what you're willing to pay as a collector. And speculators are like, I don't know if you guys watch American Pickers, but they're like Frank and Mike. They just want some of the meat on the bone. If they can buy a book for $5 and sell it for $10, that's what they want to do. And if you're willing to pay $10 for it, you're willing to pay $10 for it. If you're not going to pay $10 for it, they're not going to try to sell it to you for $10. My thing as a speculator is it's like a drug addict. A successful drug addict will support his habit by selling the thing he's addicted to, and that's what I do. I like to speculate, and it's a lot of fun speculating. It's more, it's like the stock market, but it's even more. The odds are better. You have an idea. Especially if you collect, you know what fellow collectors you're going to want. You know how to get them. And if you're a collector and you want to get on some of these books ahead of time and not pay what speculators charge, then educate yourself. It's that easy. There's places you can go to buy books ahead of time where you can literally spend $10 for a book that when it hits the shelves will be $50 to $100 sometimes. I mean, I've made $50, $9 profit. Just educate yourself if you don't want to be taken by a speculator. But again, collectors set the market. If you don't want to spend that much money for it, don't pay for it. So, okay. Oh, of course. Just cuz. First appearance. Yeah, badass first appearance. Alright. Oh, okay, so This is in here, my full set. Full set's in here, this book, this Marvel Superheroes. This, again, as a kid, I was of the generation where this was the first of its kind. Like, people now are, oh, we're so tired of Marvel and they always have these events. This was the event. So there was one that came out before this called Contest of Champions. It was 2 issues. It kind of, I always thought it was like a feeler for Marvel, see how people would take to it. But this was the shit. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to curse in this, but if I do, this was the thing. This was, what was really cool about this was you'd read your book, like you'd be reading Spider-Man the month before this came out, and Hulk or Fantastic Four, and at the end of their issues, they would just disappear. And you were like, what the heck? And when it first happened the first time, I was like, huh? And then I think it happened when I was reading Spider-Man, and then I was reading Fantastic Four, and like, what? And then come to find out, well, there's going to be this Secret Wars. Now, a couple memorable things about Secret Wars. Of course, the most memorable is the black suit. Yeah. Spidey in his badass black suit. Okay, technically, this is the first appearance of Venom. That is the symbiote that becomes, or is Venom. Again, collectors set the market, so collectors don't feel this is the first appearance. This book is worth some money, but it's really Spider-Man 299 and 300 that are worth the money. That people cite that as the first appearance of Venom. But technically, that's the symbiote that becomes Venom. But yeah, cool cover. As a kid, holy crap, Spider-Man's got a black Spider-Man suit that had been red and blue and whatever since since the 60s, since I grew up as a kid. And that was amazing. That was totally cool. So then the other one of my favorite covers on this, just because it's a cool cover and because it cracks me up, because I make myself crack up over it, because I make myself laugh all the time, honestly. This cover. This is Hulk Badassery. Hulk, see that? This is Hulk holding up an entire world, basically. And it cracks me up because it says, beneath 150 billion tons stands the Hulk, and he's not happy. Well, hell no, he's happy. He's doing all the work. He's doing everything. The superheroes are just laying about. He's like, they show a bubble here saying, hey, how about a little help here, guys? Huh? And they'll, oh, Hulk, thank you for saving us. Hold up the world for us. Oh, thank you. So, but it is a pretty badass cover. As a kid, you're like, oh, okay. If you didn't get Hulk and being the strongest one there is before, this cover summed it up. And yeah, and this, a lot of times, the things you see on covers of comic books don't take place in the book itself. But yeah, that took place in the book itself. Yeah, Hulk is that bad. All right. Let's take a break there for a second. Let's take another shot. We're leaving out the third member of this, neglecting Jack. Gotta get the big bottle, folks. The small bottle does last day 2, maybe. Big bottle lasts at least 4 or 5 days. Alright. I got my special Jack. Remember the shot glass? I like the shot glass. It holds just enough. It's like, I guess it's called a bullet glass or something like that. I don't know. But here's mud in your eye, which I don't understand why that's a thing, but mud in your eye. Cheers. Alright, Jack. We'll come back to you in a minute. Alright, so Secret Wars, awesome. Successful. But, I guess you could blame Secret Wars for Marvel going overboard on their events. But like I said, Civil War got me back into it, and I thought Civil War, I know people disagree, some people disagree, but Civil War was a really, really good series. I got into it because I found out that Spider-Man, that's right off my train of thought, that's what it was, is Spider-Man was going to unmask himself. It actually was in the regular news. Oh. I got a poor wireless connection. Okay, I lost my Facebook friends, so we'll hold off for a second, see if they come back. I'll get back to my story in a second. It's trying to reconnect. People on YouTube are still there. Let's see if it's coming back. Alright, well, I'm hoping it's coming on. Okay. YouTube people, 1 second. I'm gonna see if I can fix my. Oh, there we go. We're back. All right, you Facebook people, we're back. And I had a chance to see some of my posts. Hello, everybody that's saying hi. Glad you could make it. Hope you're sticking around. Hope I'm not boring you. So I was in the middle of telling my story about Spider-Man. Okay, so it hit the mainstream media that Spider-Man was got unmasked. Let me just tell you, when something hits the mainstream media, when someone says, "Hey, a book's coming out," with blah blah blah, and it's in USA Today, and it's in the LA Times, and it's in the Review Journal, whatever. If that book hasn't come out yet, go buy that damn book, because it's going to be worth something. Because people rush to buy these books, and they sell out, and a lot of times, by the time the mainstream media announces it, comic book stores have already made their orders, and they don't know that this is going to happen. I've spoken to at least one comic book store who's frustrated by that because they wish they knew ahead of time, so they pre-order. As a matter of fact, a funny story to that was there's a character called Ms. Marvel, and she's the first female Muslim character. And when Marvel announced this book was going to come out, it hit the mainstream media and went crazy. Because, of course, anything where you say the word Muslim, it becomes a big thing, and people, for one reason or another, react a certain way. And I went to one of my comic stores and I said, "Look, this book is in USA Today. I saw it on the AP earlier. You're going to want to order books, stacks of this book," which they did. And I knew it was going to be big. I followed my own advice to a certain extent. I followed my collector advice and didn't go with my speculator gut feeling, because that week when it came out, stacks of Ms. Marvel books, just big stacks of number one, right? And I thought, oh, they've got so many of them. I'll just buy one now. If I want to buy one later, I'm going to get one next week. Big mistake. Next week, gone. And if you want to look up, if you get a chance, Ms. Marvel Volume 1, Number 1, I think it's going for $100 now. A book that costs $2.99, mind you, when they bought it, is now going for about $80 to $100. So, didn't follow my advice. So, anyways, that's the world of speculation / collectors. I do have a copy of Number 1, so I can't be too upset. But it's cool to have two issues when you're the split personality of a collector and a speculator. You can keep one for your collection and sell another. I do that a lot of times. I'll buy variant covers because I want it, but I'll buy 3 copies of it, months in advance. I get them and I'll sell them on eBay. I usually make a profit, but if I break even, I've actually made a profit because I've got that extra book that I'm keeping in my collection, which is just going to go up in value. The variants for people who don't know are there's a regular book that comes out that everybody buys off the shelf, and a variant is usually a special cover done by a special artist, or it's done a special way, or it's different than the original cover. And fewer of those are printed, and those are usually the ones a lot of times that are worth. They're more often not worth more money than it's very rare that a variant's not worth more than the original cover. So that's I do pretty good on that. Another thing is keep an eye on movie announcements. If as soon as you hear a movie's going to be announced, get on it. It used to be better. When I started doing it, not everybody else, not a whole lot of people were keen on it. When they announced the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, I jumped on it. I bought the first appearance of Rocket Raccoon and Hulk. I think I paid $2 for that. I bought the Marvel Superheroes number 15, I think it is, first appearance of Guardians of the Galaxy. Or was it 12? I can't remember what number it is. Anyways, bought 2 copies of that. One was $15, one was $12. I dare you to find those books for that price now. And the problem now is, as soon as things are announced, it's a competition now because there's so many people who are keen to this. Not just on at the comic book stores locally, but on the internet. When they announced, one of the funniest times when they announced that Kurt Russell and the new Guardians of the Galaxy was going to be Ego, the Living Planet, which is an old character created by Jack the King Kirby in an old Thor book. I ran upstairs and got on. I already had 2 copies of it. Oh, we lost our Facebook friends again. Okay. So when Ego came out, I had already had a copy of Ego. The first appearances, there are 2 issues. There's a first appearance and then the first full appearance. I don't have to go into the details of that, but I ran upstairs and got on eBay and just watched them just disappear off eBay. Just bought. Buy now. We're gone. And I got lucky and bought a copy of each before they disappeared. But speculation is a huge thing right now. in the comic book world. Okay, let's move on. So that's what I was saying. Like, first appearances, that sort of thing. Let's see. I'll talk about it in a minute. Yeah. Oh, here's a good one. Wrong. Space Knight. Yes. Yes. Got a following. Got a pretty big following, actually. The problem with this is I think it's Kenner. I could be wrong. Marvel made a deal with a toy company back in I think it was the early 80s, late 70s, to create comic books based on their toys. Rom was very successful. I liked Rom. Rom was a good character. Matter of fact, Rom was so popular that there are people today who wish or want Rom. Matter of fact, I believe Gunn even mentioned that he wished he could put Rom in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Here's the problem: Marvel doesn't own Rom. It's still owned by the toy company, and they let Marvel have it back. So, unfortunately, Rom will not be in a good movie. Little known fact: his last name is a trivia fact. Last name is Along a Ding Dong. So, if anybody asks, his name is Rom Along a Ding Dong. Anyways, the other thing interesting about this book is responsible for making the toy worth a ton of money. This book alone is probably worth maybe $20, $40 at most in this condition. It's pretty good condition. The toy, if you find the toy in any condition, you are paying hundreds of dollars for it. I honestly believe this book made that toy worth what it is today. Because people bought the book, nobody bought the toy, and not even me. I was like, how corny to buy the toy? I think I was 12, maybe 11 when this came out. So I wasn't into toys, and I wasn't about to buy it. But now, again, regrets. Because, it's the fish that got away. But, good book, and don't plan on seeing him anytime soon. In the Marvel Universe, movie or otherwise. But Rom, good. Oh, okay. This is corny. But, so as a kid, loved giant monster movies. There's actually one, what's it called? Anyways, the old Japanese horror movies. Loved them. Loved the corniness of them. But, yeah, so Godzilla, King of Monsters. This is the first time he was in an American comic book. Collected it just because it was Godzilla. It was corny, but it was Godzilla. So, I had to get it. But Godzilla, just love those movies as a kid. Fascinated in Godzilla Monster Island, one of my favorites. There was another one, and I can't think of the name of it. It was early on, when America first got into these movies, and it was just after Godzilla, and it was two monster brothers, and one was green and one was red. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was awesome. They fought. One was good, one was bad. They fought each other, and blah blah blah. And in the end, they had to kill them both. I think they gassed them. Killed them both. So it was all this. You feel sad for the good one, but hey, at least got rid of the bad one that was destroying everything. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Like, that's what I liked about the most recent Godzilla movie. It gave perspective to the fact that, I always wondered when I was a kid, what if you're on the ground? Godzilla's taking steps that are miles long. You could be 3 miles away and get stomped on. Not be ready for it. So, Godzilla. He's a monster. Alright, okay. Here's a funny one. I'm gonna bring out all these issues. Alright, so, as a kid, there was a TV show on that I absolutely loved, and my dad loved it too. It starred a little-known actor at the time, Patrick Dempsey. No, not Patrick Dempsey. Patrick... crap, I can't think of his name, but he went on to be in Dallas. Anyways. Man from Atlantis. Alright, so here's the thing about my short box. And for people who don't know, they collect. A short box for a collector is where you keep your most valuable comics. Comics that are valuable to you. That means that are worth, more often than not, they're worth money. This ain't worth jack. But what this is worth the memory. Corny book about a guy they find on the shore. It was a TV show, also. Guy they find on the shore. Got web hands, web feet, can swim super fast, got all these powers. Kind of like an Aquamanish type character. Can't talk to fish as far as I know because they didn't get that going that long enough. But love the TV show, love the comic book. I think the TV show lasted The comic lasted 7 issues. I think the show might have lasted 5 episodes. I don't remember. So here's what the show and the comic book ended the same fashion, which really annoys me. This is what's annoying about sometimes. And you know this when there's a show you love, an episodic type show. They when they get discontinued, but they end like this. Boom. Oh, our hero is trapped. Perpetually trapped, because they never did a Man from Atlantis number 8. That was it. As far as I know, this Joker guy did everybody in. But yeah, sad. But yeah, Man from Atlantis. Patrick Duffy. Is that his name? I think that's his name. But this is before Dallas. Before he went to Dallas. Look where he started in Two Shot JR. Nobody cares. He didn't finish the job. So, whatever. Dallas. Took leukemia to finally kill JR. Just kidding. Okay. Let's see. What else? Let's see. Here's another good one. Another one. Not worth a whole lot of money, but again, as a kid, a Jack Kirby creation. That alone makes it classic gold. Devil Dinosaur. Loved this comic book as a kid. Story was originally they made you think it was like taking place back in the past, back during dinosaurs, but later on you found out it was an alternate reality. And the comic book is full of alternate realities, trust me. But it's a world where dinosaurs and humanoids lived alike, and they were they're called the monster people, and then there were the violent people, and then the small people, and so Devil Dinosaur was a regular dinosaur, captured by the monster people who used, I guess, sorcery or whatever was going on back then. Tried to burn him because they didn't like him, sacrificing him, and because I guess this fire was magical or whatever, turned him red, so he became red, Devil Dinosaur. Got a little sidekick, Moon Boy. That's him up there. Moon Boy. He comes back in every once in a while. He's a cult favorite. The thing is, with characters like Devil Dinosaur and Man-Thing and characters that are cult favorites, because they don't sell, they're not in the top 10, top 20, and that's not just Marvel. DC's guilty of it too. They cancel them because it's like we're making a profit, but we're not making enough of a profit off these books. So we're going to move on to the next thing. And it's too bad because it's funny to read how many people. As a kid, again, there was no internet, so I had no idea who else was reading this book. My other friends weren't reading this book. A few people I knew that collect comic books also. But now as you get older and the internet's there and people interact and you have groups that you can join. It's fun to find out how many people were in love with Devil Dinosaur like I was. And he shows up every once in a while because the thing is, Marvel knows. Well, right now actually he's got a girl. She's not really a girl. I can't think of her name, but she's super smart. They've redone it to make it more kid friendly. They're trying to get kids attracted to comic books, so they're doing more with her. And I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't try to push some sort of TV show. Or, I don't know if it'll be a movie. I honestly don't think it can carry a movie. I read the first issue. It's not bad, but it's for kids. So, there's that. Let's stop here for now. Alright, we're neglecting Jack again. Jack gets sad when we neglect him, so let's do an intermarriage shot. Alright. Here's to your mother. Here's to your mother. Why gotta say it like that? Why can't you just say here's to your mother? Inflection is everything, people. Inflection is the difference between a handshake and a punch. Alright. It's delicious. I love the taste of Jack. I know people drink just to drink or they'll mix it with stuff. Straight up Jack, man. I mean, it's delicious. It's smooth. It goes down. I have a chaser here, but I don't think I need it. Honestly, it's just, Oh, and another rule for me and Jack in the short box. Don't tell my wife how many shots I've taken. I don't count. I lose count up to 3. I have a number that I created called 3 something. So when she ever says, how much do you drink? I always say, 3 something. I honestly don't remember. After 3, I don't remember. Man, it's not so much that I get drunk. I just don't remember how many shots I take. So if my wife, or Shola, should ask you, just say, I think you took 3 something. Don't count. Right? I don't need you to count. I don't want to count. I drink. It's delicious. It's good stuff. All right. All right, back to the box. Let's see what else we got. All right, here's an example of a book that I collected as a kid, and it wasn't until I got, again, $5 allowance. You can only afford to get so much, right? You can only afford to buy so much as a kid. So I obviously couldn't afford this book. It's the first one. Make sure it's the right one here. This is the first one. Metalman, again. A lot of my favorite characters. I mean, yeah, Batman and Spider-Man are my favorites. And they're mainstream. Everybody knows who Batman is and Spider-Man is. As a matter of fact, my earliest memories, some of my first memories, 3 and 4 years old, were of, maybe this is why they're my favorites, the first Spider-Man cartoon, and the one where the song comes from, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. That cartoon was my first cartoon that I can remember watching as a kid. And right around the same time, right around that memory, is the original Batman, Adam West TV show. What was funny about that was when I can remember as a kid, I had when I was like about 4 years old, I had an older friend who was 8, and he used to mock me because I was convinced Batman was a serious show. I didn't see the mockery, the campiness of it. A 4-year-old kid, all he saw was Batman fighting the bad guys, and when they were continued, I couldn't wait for the next episode. I was like, oh no, Batman, somebody help him! And then I used to have nightmares about King Tut, of all the characters. King Tut, Victor Borno, used to chase me in my dreams and make the ceiling collapse on top of me. Yeah, that was a scary action. I had that dream repeatedly as a child. Frickin' Victor Borno, of all people, wearing his stupid King Tut gear on his head. You would think the Joker was freaking scary as a kid. Caesar Romero, freaking scary. Mustache or not, scary. Even Riddler, Gorsh, that giggle, but no, it was King Tut that I had nightmares about for whatever reason. So go figure. Anyways, but yeah, so Spider-Man and Batman, yeah, mainstream. I like them; they're my favorite. But my tastes go to a lot of off-the-wall type characters. Metalman is another one. Metalman's another one. DC will ever try every once in a while to give them a book. It'll last a while. Again, back in the 60s, they were very popular. They didn't, I don't know, people's tastes changed or whatever. I love these characters, though. I mean, Dr. Magnus creates these 4 robots. They all have feelings. They have identities. They have personalities. You've got, and they were specific. I mean, this is pretty. I mean, for 1962, it's pretty, deep for a 1962 comic book about, for kids. You've got Mercury. He's the hothead. He's the jerk. I always thought he was a jerk. I was annoyed by him. Tin was like he didn't have any self-confidence and stuttered. Had actually a stutter, which I thought was an amazingly great effect. Lead, who was the nice guy, strong, but kind of a doofus. And then Iron, who was the strong man and full of himself, but not so much that you hated him. And then Gold was the leader. He was the Mr. Good Guy, like the Captain America type. And Platinum was the female character. And she was so convinced that she was human that she was in love with Dr. Magnus, the guy who created him. So, and what was really cool about it wasn't just that they had the tributes of the metals. They would figure out ways to combine. Like, Mercury would say, we can combine and make this compound and do this together and work together on this. So it was the ultimate. I mean, you could say what you want about Fantastic Four and Justice League. This book was like the ultimate, teamwork book. These guys figured out how to use their attributes to conquer. And they had some bizarre, off-the-wall villains that they had to fight. So, kudos to them to be able to figure that stuff out. So, Metalman, this is their first appearance. Like I said, as a kid, I collected the book at the time. Could not afford this book. Didn't pay for it too much for it when I bought it this time either. But I bought it because it was a decent price. It's a very good copy. It's a very good mark sticker on there. So, get to read the origin of Metalman and original things. Here's the thing also. Again, trade paperbacks and omnibuses are great to have, so you can read your history. What they don't have are these stupid silly advertisements that were in these books. Some of the advertisements in these books are hilarious. One of the books, an old Spider-Man that I have, that I'm going to show next time if we get to the Spider-Man box. You could, sign up kids now for a raffle for a free Cessna airplane. No, not a toy, a Cessna airplane. You won a whole airplane if you won this raffle. Second prize, 10 second prizes went to flying lessons. So I'm kind of hoping that when you won the plane, flying lessons came with it. I can only imagine. But yeah, stuff like that. You could buy guns in some of the comic books. It was just the ads. I miss the ads in the books. They're just hilarious. And another hilarious thing with these books was when you'd be reading these books, you'd be in a story, and then there'd be ads. On the next page would be an ad, and they'd actually put on the bottom of the page, continued on next page, because I couldn't figure out how to turn the page. I'm so glad I put that on there. There's ads! Holy crap! Ah, the book's over. But no, good thing they put continued on next page. So, yeah. So I miss that. There's a certain charm to the older books like that, because of stuff like that and the ads that were in there, and be a strong man, the original Atlas ads of kicking the guy, gets sand kicked in his face, and those sort of things. But yeah, that's another reason why I love actually getting the actual book as opposed to getting the trade, because that stuff's not in a trade. I know I haven't bought an omnibus yet. I plan on buying a couple in the future. There's a couple I'm looking forward to. I've been told that they have the letters page, and the letters page can be kind of cool sometimes. I used to love Marvel. Used to have a thing called the No Prize. If you were reading a Marvel comic book and they made a mistake, you could write them a letter and say, "Hey, you screwed up. You owe me a No Prize." And Stan would answer. He's like, "Yeah, we screwed up," or he'd say, "No, he didn't," and he'd show you why he didn't screw up. And it was a lot of fun to read those No Prizes. And then I tried a couple times for a No Prize and never got a response to it, but I've seen other people get No Prizes, and some of the cool stuff. One of my comic book stores has one of the No Prizes, and it was literally a No Prize. There was an envelope with nothing in it, but the amazing thing was it would have sketches, like done by the artist or signed by Stan Lee. So you were getting an envelope with nothing in it, but you were getting something signed by Stan Lee or something drawn by maybe Jack Kirby or I don't know if Steve Ditko was around when they were started doing those, but I know I saw one with a Kirby drawing on it. So yeah, No Prize. Stuff. Some of that stuff, I kind of miss. Let's see what we got in here. Let's see. Almost. I know I said I was going to go to 5:45. It was kind of an iffy time. Facebook insists on giving me an end time. I originally put it 12 a.m. I'm not ending at midnight. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Me talking. Oh, okay. Okay, we got a minute. We're going to go past. The special. The tab part. Boom. The secret section. The section, I mark off special books with this. You're talking about cult favorites, and one of my all-time favorites, this one is very close to Batman and Spider-Man, this character. So I'm going to give you a clue. Hold on a second. You only get one clue. Hold on. I'm going to let you have to guess based on this clue. Here it comes. Alright, ready? Boom! Pen and stare, everybody! Pen and stare! Yes! Ghost Rider, people. Ghost Rider. First appearance of Ghost Rider. Boom. Marvel Spotlight number 5. Okay, so what I was just saying about there only being a few comic book stores around. When I bought comic books as a kid, before I even knew that we didn't have a comic book store, there were two places I could buy comic books at. One was a 7-Eleven that was about 20, 30 minutes from our house that my parents would drive me to every once in a while. And it would have a rack. You go on the rack and get it. And then the other place I would go with my grandmother. My grandparents lived in Downey. And behind their house were these old, one-night stay motels, whatever. There's a big parking lot. And they lived off Firestone Boulevard. If you know California and Downey, Firestone is a pretty busy street. So when I'd go to visit them, I would hop the fence to their backyard, go across this sleazy motel parking lot to Firestone, cross the street to this liquor store, and this liquor store was amazing. It was just a rack, but it had everything. It had, stuff I didn't have before. I mean, I bought the Alien graphic novel from there I didn't see before. So having said that, that was the best way to get comic books. To get back issues as a kid, even after I found the comic book store, because one comic book store can only have so many back issues, right? What I would do, then going back to talking about the ads in these books, one of the places people could actually, comic book stores, could actually, and even collectors, could buy a spot, a little part of a page where they had all these ads, and they would sell their comic books. They'd say, hey, get our catalog. Most of the time they were free. You just had to send them a self-addressed stamped envelope, and they would send you their catalog, and you'd go through it. And the amazing thing about the catalog was it would be like Marvel Spotlight, 2 through 20, 75 cents. Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, 90 through 150, 90 through 130, 75 cents, whatever. And that's how I got this. This book, I would say, is at least in very fine condition. Awesome. Johnny Blaze, making a deal with the devil. Of course, what happens to make a deal with the devil? He screws you. Makes you into a guy with a flaming head. And you have to ride a motorcycle, it's on fire. But this book, oh my gosh. So, I was already into Ghost Rider. When I started collecting Ghost Rider, I think it was in issue 20, maybe a little earlier than that. Again, I wanted the freaking origin. I wanted to read about Johnny Blaze making this damn deal. So I had to get this book. And I think I got it for 75 cents. I might have paid $1.50 for it at the time. But the condition it's in, I must have read this book at least 2 or 3 times, at least. But yeah, so and as a kid, I ended up getting the whole run that way. I had Marvel Spotlight, I think it's 5 through 11 that he ran through. Then he got his own comic book, of course. Number 1, also number 1. I'm pretty sure I got number 1 same way off the internet. I'm not the internet. There was no internet back then. Off of buying catalogs and getting that. There's also this book. It's the number 1 Ghost Rider. Also the first appearance of the Son of Satan. Yes, the Son of Satan, for people who don't collect comic books, was a popular character in the 70s. Damon Hellstrom. Let me see if he's in here. Yes, I'm opening up my Ghost Rider number 1 to show you Damon Hellstrom. Because everybody should see Damon Hellstrom. Right. Well, anyways. Oh, yes. Yeah, so he's there with his star. They show him. Anyways. So, Damon Hellstrom, he's a hunky guy. I can't find a picture of him yet. Of course, hunky, blonde hair, got a big star of Satan on his chest, whatever. The whole image. But what I always thought was funny was, here you got Satan, right? Alright, Satan's not going anywhere. You might have a prince of Satan, Son of Satan might be in line to inherit hell or whatever. Bottom line is, Satan's a jerk. I mean, didn't we not learn that from Spotlight number 5? He's a jerk. You make a deal with him. So, why would he keep his son according to like Damon Hellstrom? Seriously. If you had the real Satan, you give him his son a name like Percival. Or Jamie. Something like, hey, I'm a jerk, you're my son, I'm giving you, like Johnny Cash had it right, boy named Sue. Give him if nothing else, give him a girly name and send him out onto the world, because he was half human, I guess, whatever. That would make him tough and evil. Who wouldn't be evil if their name's Jane, or Susie, whatever. So, Damon Hellstrom's first appearance. Oh, here we go. Actually, I happen to have Marvel Spotlight number 12. There he is. There's Damon. In his badassery. So, Son of Satan, actually popular. And just so you know, Damon, not Damien, but, and this was published before the Omen movie came out. I have to wonder if the Omen people thought, hey, Damon's a good name, we can't use it because Marvel will get all over our butts. Let's go with Damien instead. Let's alter those letters around. So, well, there was a lot more in this short box, but I guess I'll stop there. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm gonna try to do more of these. I have boxes of them, so yeah, too many. And like I said, it's just fun to talk to. I love talking about comics. I love taking shots at Jack. I'm gonna take one more shot at Jack. I gotta take the mask off. I know some of you want to see me take a shot through this whole thing, but that's catastrophe. And that's just a waste of Jack. I wouldn't do that to Jack. So. One more shot for the road. Take off the Ghost Rider mask. Freaking making me sweat. live shot. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you all enjoy your weekends. I'm off on Friday, so I get plenty of time to set up for this kind of thing. I would ramble on all day about comic books, especially being, juiced up on Jack. But, I'm sure you guys have things you want to do on your Friday. I'll listen to old man spout off about books from the 70s. So, one last cheers. Enjoy your weekend. Happy Friday, everybody. Live long and prosper, and may the force be with you. Last call.